Hi guys, welcome back to this channel. Today I'm going to be discussing the dangers of internet clout today because this is something that has been going on for a while and that stuff, and this is also a disease, and it is also being this is also being developed in most of these morons' minds and that stuff. Because this is the only thing that could make them happy and that stuff. And most of you should have seen, maybe not most of you, but some of you have probably seen my video, like making viral videos for Clout can get you arrested. And this is obviously a very true thing right here. It's a really true statement. And I'm going to explain what it means and stuff. And I'm just going to make it short and simple. Like, whatever you do that you are trying to do for internet clout and that stuff, you will. It will ultimately get you arrested, for sure. And don't feel sorry. Don't come crying to me or the cops or anybody else when you start breaking the law. Because this is, it's. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you, okay? You're not only going to be getting internet clout, but you could also get a label on your head. depending on what crime you commit for the internet clout. It doesn't matter what it is. You could get a label for a bunch of different things. You could even steal stuff from a store, or be labeled, I don't know, let's say, the most, the most, uh, the most hateful customer. You could, well, you could get, oh, you could be labeled a lot of stuff. But not all clout over the internet gets you arrested and that stuff. That if you wanted to be like Ava, that one girl that I've actually seen from another channel, uh, the channel's name was Penguin, and he goes on and discussed how snotty and bratty this girl is for because she wants internet clout and that stuff, and she acts pretty sassy too. I say that because she certainly acts like that, and this is how like some women that I know can act snotty and bratty because they think they're so better than everybody else and that stuff. That's that's just me. That's just me. But it's pushing the limits to what you can actually really do for internet clout. It's pushing the limits to your health. It's pushing the limits of what the law does, it's pushing the boundary line of respecting the law. So, yeah, it's not like every time you go out and you want that internet clout and that stuff that somebody's gonna warn you and say that, man, if I do this or all that stuff, what are the outcomes going to be? What is going to happen to me if I try to go for this internet clout that I want so desperately? Like, what will be the punishment for in the result of this and that stuff? But yeah, you people that are so-called clout chasers and that stuff, you guys are morons if you don't even use your head to actually think about what is going to happen to you after you do this stuff. Because you have one thing on your mind, and that is internet clout. That is all you care about and that stuff. There are a few internet clouts that I've actually seen already and that stuff, and it's actually continuing as this coronavirus gets worse. And so is internet clout getting even much worse. The first one that I want to discuss are these two morons that go on an airplane to go somewhere, and that stuff. And they're making a big joke out of they got the coronavirus and that stuff. So now they start joking about how they have COVID-19 and scare passengers on the plane pretty much. And the pilot turns the plane around and that stuff. And these two losers actually get themselves arrested and that stuff because it is a crime. Because you're scaring the passengers of the plane and you're doing something that would be a federal offense. Because not only does it scare people, but everybody that says that you have like COVID-19, even if you make a big joke about it and that stuff, they're going to start thinking it's very serious and that stuff, and they won't even take jokes. Like, if you say you have something and that stuff when you really don't and that stuff, they're going to take it very seriously. And that's just reality there. That's just reality right there. If you say you've got some, like, very serious mental illness and that stuff, and you, like, joke about it and that stuff, people could still take it very seriously and that stuff. And you could, who knows what could happen to you after you make those kind of jokes. And whatever the results are when you joke about stuff like that and that stuff, who knows what can happen? Who knows what's going to happen next? So I'm gonna go ahead and discuss the next couple of clout chasers and that stuff. One guy is having himself a good time driving in his car. He goes up to this hardworking man that had possibly gotten out of work and that stuff, went to a grocery store to buy his kids or wife food or whatever and that stuff, And guy goes up to him and he goes, "Hey, you dropped your money," and throws an egg at him and just start making a big laugh about it. He just laughs his butt off with it and just drives off. So after that is done and that stuff, he goes and tells the cops that he's done something very stupid. And and then he basically like turned himself in for doing something very stupid just for the internet clout and that stuff. I'm pretty sure egging people is pretty much illegal and that stuff. I actually hear or know that if you go to New York City and that stuff, that there are people that egg cars. So that being illegal, I don't really think it's much of a surprise to me. Because I'm pretty sure that if egging a car is illegal and that stuff, then I'm very sure that egging a person can be pretty much illegal and that stuff. Because that could be probably considered sexual assault or something like that. Maybe not sexual assault, but physical assault. Because we know how hard eggshells are when you throw them at well, I've never even experienced an egg getting thrown at me and that stuff. And I'm very sure that if I went to New York City and that stuff, I'd probably get that experience. Not at the result of I don't own a car, but if I did, somebody could miss their aim and that stuff, and I could probably get an egg thrown at me. Because in New York City, that's what people do. They egg your vehicle and that stuff out in the parking lots and that stuff, and it's just what people do. People are just really stupid these days. Because all they care about is just internet clout, and that is the whole story. Like, it's nothing else. It's just, I get the internet clout, I get myself arrested, or I do something very majorly stupid to damage my own health. That can really affect you big time. There's this one kid, or one, I may have gone over it, but, yeah, I already said this guy's, name or channel, but, Ava, probably most of you have seen her and that stuff. You know how bratty and snotty this, teenage girl acts. It it's not really funny overall. And the more that she has this sassy way of talking to her viewers and that stuff, and that it's just making you want to dislike this person even more. Because overall that she's a brat that's just wanting that internet clout so bad, and she goes off and starts acting like a sassy little girl that she is. And she's promising to make viral videos for all her viewers are in Clout. And the viral video is she licks toilet seats. Or does something else that would, you know, majorly damage her health in a very negative way. But to this girl, it's a joke. She does not even care what happens with her. It's just like how some internet clout people just don't really give a crap about what they do or how they do something and that stuff. They're just going to do it because they just want that clout, and that's all they care about, and that's what they'll forever do. And I could probably also say this, that most of the people that, like, you know, do this stuff for internet clout and that stuff, pretty much is the same kind of behavior that they're going to have for the rest of their lives. Because, number one, they're losers and that stuff, just don't even know how to act appropriately, or act their age and that stuff. And they probably just keep on acting like that and that stuff, just for internet clout, because this is the kind of behavior that would get them that internet clout. But there are ways to get internet clout and that stuff, and it is not that way. You can do it another way. And you can play any kind of video games and, wreck your opponents, like, very, very well and that stuff. And you could try getting those views. And that's something I've wanted to go over as well, because I could do whatever it is for internet clout, except do something that would get me arrested and that stuff. So, like, all the videos that I have uploaded right now, like, I've first started off this channel with Art Academy Home Studio back when Miiverse was around for the 3DS and Wii U. And it was shut down around the time that the Nintendo Switch came out. It wasn't exactly March that it was shut down, but it was shut down in November of 2017. But while I was enjoying using Miiverse and uploading from Art Academy Home Studio to YouTube, I simply was what I was doing was I was making art that I could greatly make, art that I knew that I was going to do a good job with. And I've made it so that all of my viewers on here could actually get a taste of, what it is that I actually love doing in life. And this was my positive way of trying to get those views. I not only did Art Academy's Home Studio to gather views on YouTube, but I've also, what I've also did was, oh no, excuse me, my first video that I've actually made here on YouTube was, I actually, what I actually did for my first video and that stuff was, Rainbow Road. And to get my view count correctly, so far I've seen 50 views on that right now. That was not a bad amount for me. I was quite pleased to have that many views on my channel for that video and that stuff. But my other video that I've uploaded, and this was a few years ago, was Implosion. And I've got myself like 200 or plus views on there and that stuff. And that was something that I enjoyed and that stuff because I wanted to have clout so I could be recognized as a gamer and show off my playstyle and Implosion and that stuff. And I'll explain what I've used. I used a game recording feature that I had on NVIDIA Shield and that stuff. It's similar to game streaming. But you could play any game that you want on your tablet, which is what the NVIDIA Shield is, and it will record any game that you've wanted to play, and you wouldn't have to worry about positioning the camera or anything like that. You could just play the game and that stuff. But if you're playing the game, video recording would be interrupted if the screen just went blank on you and that stuff, or it just, turned itself off on you. Not necessarily shut the power off on you, but there are sleep modes in these devices nowadays. So like for the Nintendo Switch, which I am currently using, and that the Nintendo Switch can put itself into sleep mode after an hour automatically if you are not currently using it. But I don't really have to worry about the screen going off on me, as long as I'm using a pair of Joy-Cons or controllers, which I'm also disappointed that I can't even take my Joy-Con back to Nintendo, because they've got some major drifting and that stuff, and I literally hate it. But I literally hate to buy myself a Switch Lite, because if I buy one of those, and I have this kind of problem and that stuff, I'd have to take the whole thing back to Nintendo, and I would obviously hate it. So that is just my opinion of getting a Switch Lite. I'd hate to actually have to send my whole unit in as one when my Joy-Cons are drifting and that stuff. you can connect controllers, because your controllers could probably do a better job than your drifting Joy-Cons. And that would give you something to use for the Nintendo Switch until your Joy-Cons get repaired by Nintendo. But because of this COVID-19 and that stuff, their repair units or repair centers for Nintendo are currently not open. And I don't know if they could actually reopen still, and you'd still be able to send your Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons in for repairs without having any big tours or that stuff. I certainly know E3 is not going to happen next month because of the coronavirus situation. But overall, I just kind of have to, make use of it. I certainly don't like using my GameCube controller because it's got the, it does that on me, what I'm just demonstrating right now, and that stuff. It just keeps on doing it on and on and on. And not even a fan of, well, I really don't want to be buying a Switch Mini. If I really had it my way, I could just go and get myself another pair of Joy-Cons that don't drift. And the one game that I figured out that where they drift the most is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Cause like, people can get rough with them when you play Ultimate. And that's what I've noticed about the first time that it started drifting on me again. Because back in March, I've got these. Well, no, it was actually March of last year that I've got these back. But anyway, the beginning of the video, I just wanted to talk about why you should not be doing what internet clout is not good to do, and the other internet clout was the okay clout. Oh no. I lost my... never mind. I can get another one. Oh, it was in my inventory. So my video, I was discussing with you all the kind of internet clout that you can... that is the good, and which clout is the bad one, which is making videos to go viral and doing stupid stuff like that. Anyway, guys, that's going to be that today for this video. Please like and subscribe. What your opinion is. Do you think internet clout is actually very stupid? And do you obviously agree that video game internet clout should be the better clout to be chasing after? Because let's look at this on the bright side. If you are the best at playing a certain game, then I'm very sure that you could get those that internet clout that you so much want without going and being a stupid moron. Because if you rather get the kind of clout where you make viral videos and that stuff, those are the kinds of things that are going to get you arrested or can damage your health, depending on whether if you like licking toilet seats and eating dog crap. And that is for this video today. I hope you enjoyed the video today. And I will leave you with this. Think carefully about the kind of internet clout that you actually want. And if you are trying to make public internet clout on that stuff, consider the consequences on if what you do in public that's viral, whether it's egging somebody or, doing something stupid in grocery stores or whatever. Think about what would happen to you after that. Think about, am I going to get myself arrested if I do this in a grocery store or if I'm, doing something else stupid? Just remember, people are going to watch what you do and that stuff. The first viral thing that you do and that stuff, everybody's going to be watching. Unless you're in your own house or in a room locked, in a private room or whatever. This is Charles Morris. Have a good day. I'll see you all later.